My name is Candace, aka Picasso Baby, and today I'm going to be showing you how to create your very own meditation statue painting. If you are new here, welcome. If you've been here before, thank you so much for stopping back by to paint with me. Happy 2022. We have made it into the new year, and I'm so grateful to be spending another year painting with you all. So today we're going to be working on something super simple, super fun, but also super important to start off your new year. And before we get started, as always, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on those post notifications so that you do not miss the next tutorial. And if you have any suggestions, make sure you always leave them down in the comments so I can add them to the list of paintings that we'll be doing this year. So I am going to be creating a chakra alignment painting with you all. It's super important to start your new year off intentionally, to make sure that you are in line with the things that you want for yourself for your new year. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So I'm going to go over some of the things that you need. As always, I am using a 16 by 20 inch canvas. You can use the canvas size of your choice. It's completely up to you. Today we are going to be doing some drawing, so you do want to make sure that you have a pencil or a permanent black marker. I use a Sharpie fine point. So you want to make sure that you have, if you're using a marker, make sure it's that. Or again, you can use a pencil. Make sure you have your different sized acrylic brushes. You want to make sure you have some paper towel to dry your brushes off on, and also a cup of cold water to wash them. And then today I'm just working with the colors Mars Black, Titanium White, Chrome Yellow, Bright Red, and Phthalo Blue. And then, as always, you can grab the drink of your choice. If you are 21 and up, grab the adult beverage of your choice. Today is kind of early, so I'm just having some water, and of course I'm having it from the coldest. And also, if you want to, light some candles, if you like to burn some incense or some sage, anything to really, or even play some type of music, anything to really set the mood and create a nice vibe of energy and feng shui, while you are also creating a painting that is supposed to create the vibe and the energy for your body. So go ahead and get all those things together, and we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, so I am going to start by doing a little bit of drawing. So I'm going to be creating, some people use like a Indian Buddha to create their chakras on. You can just consider it yourself, an actual person, whatever you choose it to be. But I'm going to show you how to draw it out first. And again, I'm just using a permanent marker. So I'm going to start in the center, and I'm not starting all the way at the top. I'm going to come a little bit above the middle point. And I am going to start with a circle. So I'm starting with a circle, and from there, I'm going to create shoulders. So I'm going to come over there, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And then I'm going to take that down to create the first half of the arm. So I'm just going to do that there. And then I'm going to go out a bit for the bottom half of the arm. Now, I want to create a curve up and a curve down. And I'm going to do that on both sides. Curve, so I'm curving over. And then I'm going to curve under or down like little hands. And from there, I want to create a curve for the knee, and I'm going to pull it in a little bit. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And now I am going to, before I finish off the bottom, I'm going to go back in and create the inside. So for the inside, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go up a little bit. So we see how we have this point here. I'm going to go up a little bit above there. And I'm going to make a curve going down. And then what you can actually do is you can curve it all the way back to where we stopped this first line, this line here. You want to stop at that point. And I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side. I just start with a little dot so I know where I'm going with it. I'm going to curve and I'm going to pull right there. Now I want to create the actual body. So from here, I'm going to curve in on both sides. And then I want to create a bit of a little hip. So you see how I did that little curve? Do the same thing over here. And then I'm just going to pull that line through. So now that we have the body, your temple, I am going to create like a little place that she can be sitting on, or that your person can be sitting on. So I'm going to do another little curve at the bottom here. Now, one thing I'm going to show you as well, if you want to leave it like this, you definitely can. If you want to actually have hair, what you can do is start at the top, right in the middle of the head, and then just curve a line down right to the top of the shoulder, or right before the shoulder there. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. But again, if you don't want hair on yours or the illusion of hair, you can leave that as is. Once you have it drawn out, we're just going to start to paint our backgrounds. So what we're going to be doing for the background, I want to create a bit of a light or orb around my person here. So I am going to make sure that it's lighter and kind of glowing around them, and then the rest is going to be a bit darker, because again, we want it to be like we're creating the energy for our body. So we want a nice aura around us. So I am going to start with my biggest brush, and I'm going to be doing my background blue. If you want to do yours a different color, you can do it the color of your choice, but you're still going to start out the same way. You're just going to pick up your color choice. So I'm picking up blue, and what I'm going to do first, right around her, so kind of like where I have my hands, I'm going to start at the top of my hands, and I'm just going to create a curve right around. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to now pick up white and get this area completely filled in. So just the area around her and in between that curve that I created, I want this to be my lightest point. So you want to make sure that you don't pick up any more of the color on your brush. You want to only pick up white. That way it can be the lightest version of whatever your color is. So this is going to be the lightest point of blue on my canvas. Areas you also want to get in, right in between her arms and body. Same thing here. And I'm going to get all of that completely filled in. And as I'm doing this, what I'm going to start to do, I'm going to start to go into make it a bit darker. So everything outside of what I just did is going to now start to get darker. Remember, this is kind of the orb or aura that's right around her. So we want to make sure this is the lightest point. So what I'm going to start to do is pick up a little more blue now. And I want to create another line. And this time, I'm going to go down to the little thing that I have her sitting on. So not her knee, but the little thing that's right under it, I'm going halfway to that point. And on this side, and it's okay if it goes off the canvas a bit, you just want to make a mark down at the bottom there. And let me move this so you all can see it better. So you want to make sure you do that mark there. And now, everything in between this area, I want it to be just a little bit of a darker blue. So I'm picking up half white, half blue now. Or again, whatever color you are using, now you can pick up equal parts of that color and white. Because again, we want this to start to get a little bit darker, but not the darkest shade yet. Now, as we're working on this part, if you have, anything, any goals that you have for the year, anything that you're wanting to do differently this year and you'd like to share it, please drop it in the comments. I would love to hear what you all are doing differently this year, how you are aligning yourself this year. And once you have all of that filled in, so I have my second little ring around here filled in. Before this spot starts to dry too much, I am actually going to wash my brush off. And I'm going to go back into white by itself. And I'm going to add a little more white right on top of that lighter blue that I already have, so that I have some lighter points. And again, you want to do this while it's still wet, that way it kind of blends in a bit. And also, when you're creating these rings and you're trying to get that kind of like ombre effect, one thing that I like to do is I like to pick up white and I put it on the edge of the brush. And then I use that edge of the brush to go in between, back and forth in between the two colors, blending them until I like how it is blended. And then once you have both of those areas filled the way you want, now we're going to start to get a bit darker. And I'm going to wash my brush. I am going to go into my blue paint again. And this time I'm picking up a very small amount of black as well. So I'm picking up blue on one side of my brush and then a little corner of black on the other side. Just because I want it to be a bit darker this time around. So I am pulling this right down. And I'm also going to make sure I get the bottom areas filled. And same thing, how we went in with the white kind of on the edge of our brush to blend those colors together more. If you need to, you can go in with your base color. My base color is blue. Whatever your base color is, put that on the edge of your brush to go back and forth between that blue you created around in the middle and then this darkest blue that you're creating now, if you need to blend those colors more. And once you have your entire background filled in, so remember, you want to make sure you got everything around her filled in and also in between her arms, I am going to go in with a medium round brush or a medium flat brush. You just want to make sure it's not as big as the one you started with. And now, I am simply just going to get this entire thing filled in with black. I'm getting the entire body filled with black, everything that the body is sitting on, I am getting it filled with black. So we're just going to work on that for a while, and then we will move to the next step together. All right, so now that you have everything completely filled in, before we can actually add the chakras on, we do have to give this some time to dry. So as always, you can take a break. You can take about a 15-minute break to make sure it's completely dry. Or if you don't feel like waiting, you can always grab a blow dryer and just blow dry it until it's dry. But make sure you just even if you're going to blow dry it, take a small little break just to step back from it for a second. Appreciate what you've done so far. Grab yourself a drink. And then we'll get started on the next step in a little bit together.
Few moments later.
All right, so now that your painting is completely dry, we are going to go in and create the chakras. And I just want to, share some different things. I'm going to be telling you which each one is for, but I'm going to also share with you why it's important to align your chakras. So the chakras are the energy centers that regulate the flow of life force energy in our bodies. Just like feng shui adjusts the flow of energy in a space, chakra alignment practices manage the flow of energy in your body. So again, I think that that's something that's super, super important starting off your new year, or starting off any new journey, just so that you are completely in line, starting with your mind, your body, your spirit first, and then everything else will align. So I am going to be simply starting by creating some white circles first, because I want to get the base on there. So I am using a smaller brush. It can be round or flat. You just want it to be smaller. And I am going to be using just white paint. And there are 7 different chakras. So I am going to be creating them from the bottom up. And they do, if you want to do them all the same size, you can. If you want to have a more dramatic effect, you can have it where it's like builds up from biggest to smallest, or if you're going down, smallest to biggest. But I want my very first one not to start at the very bottom where she's sitting at, but right where her knees. So this kind of area where her knees are. I'm going to start by creating a circle there. And I do want more of a dramatic effect, or just a little bit more pleasing to the eye. So I am going to be making my circles bigger towards the bottom and smaller as I get to the top. So I have that one. And now I am going to build up 6 more going up. And I'm going to show you where to place them. So I'm going up a little bit higher. Now I'm going like between her waist area. And remember, I'm doing mine smaller as I go up. If you want to keep them the same size, it is completely up to you. These are your chakras to align. And I'm going to go up a bit more. And now I'm going like towards the stomach area. Now, I want this one to be right in the chest area. To the throat, so right in the neck area. Go up now to kind of like right in the face or the eye area specifically. And again, keeping it in the middle. And then the 7th one, I'm going to put, it's kind of going to go off the top a bit because I'm putting it right at the top of the head. So it's still on the head, but I'm putting it at the top of the head. All right. And now that you have those on there, we do want the white to dry a little bit before we add any of the actual colors on. So while that is drying, again, if you want to take a bit of a small break, you definitely can. But we just want to make sure we use this white base so that the colors pop out very, very nicely. So again, I'm just going to let this dry for a sec, and then I will be back to add the colors on. Hurry up! Now that the white base for each of the chakras are dry, it's time to go in and actually paint them in. So we're going to be going over the color of each chakra and also what it means. And we are going to work our way up from the bottom to the top. And I am starting with this chakra here is going to be the color red. And something that I'm also doing for this part, I'm actually going to be doing finger painting, just to give it a little more of a glow effect around each chakra. So this one is going to be red, and this chakra is the root. It is for grounding. So what you're going to do, you don't have to pick up a whole lot. I'm just picking up some of my red right on my finger here. I'm going to start at the center, and I'm going to go out. Now, where this is most important, this technique is most important, is to go outside of that white circle a bit to create a little bit of a glow. So like around the edges, I want it to be a little bit of a glow. And then I'm also going to use a different finger to pick up a little bit of white and go right back into the center to lighten that center up. Now, if you choose to do it with a brush, you can do it however you like. But I find that using your fingers for that glow effect helps it a little bit more. So now that I've done that, I am going to move to the next one. And you can just, put a little bit of water on your finger and just dry it off on your paper towel. And the next color that I am going to do is orange. So I'm going to use a brush first to mix up some yellow and just a small amount of red, and I'm mixing it right on my plate first. That way I know exactly what shade I have. So I'm doing yellow, little bit of red, and then I am going to, again, take my finger with some of my orange. Now my orange is the next step up. This is, I believe it's pronounced the sacral. And it is your creativity. So I am going to fill that in. And remember, you are also going outside of the chakra, or of the white circle that we started with, because we want to get a glow around it. And then I'm going to pick up a little bit of white, fill the middle in so that it's a bit lighter. Next color I'm going to do after I wash my finger off, so I'm just adding a little bit of water to my finger and drying it on my paper towel. Next color, I'm going to go just right into my yellow, and the yellow is this one here. It is the solar plexus. I believe that's how it's pronounced, solar plexus, and it is your power. So this is your power. And again, putting it right on there and going outside of the white circle a bit. And I'm going to pick up a little bit of white and lighten that center up. Now, I want to go to my next color. My next color I'm going to mix up is green. So right on my plate, I am mixing a little bit of blue with my yellow. And I'm just using a little bit of blue because I don't want this to be a super dark green. So I'm just using yellow and a little bit of blue, mixing it on my plate. Once you have the shade, all you're going to do is add some to your finger. So got some on there. And now green, remember we put it right up here where the chest is, and we put that there because this is the heart, this is love. So I am filling this in completely. And green is my favorite color. I love love, I love to love. And I'm gonna pick up a little bit of white and lighten that center. All right, so moving on up, I am going to lighten up my blue before I add it on. So the next color up is blue. I am going to, on my plate, mix up some white and a little bit of blue. I do want to make this a little bit lighter. I kind of want to get it not like this white, this blue here, but kind of like that middle shade that I did. So I'm doing blue and some white in there. And then once you get it mixed up, you want to make sure you wash your finger off. And now I am picking up my blue and I'm going to fill that in. And now blue is this chakra here is, we put it where the neck or the throat area is because it is the throat. It is for articulate. And remember, you're going to go outside of the chakra a bit. And then I'm going to add a little bit of white to my finger so I can lighten up the middle again. All right, now time to mix up some purples. So I'm going to start out with a bit of a darker purple or a violet, and I am mixing up blue and red right on my plate. And you do want to get a good amount of red in there so that you can really see that violet color. And once you have it mixed, you're going to repeat that step. Clean your finger off. Clean whatever the blue that was left on there, clean that off. Add your purple. And now I'm going to fill this chakra in. And I'm going to add a little bit of white. To give it more of a glow in the middle. And I'm going to go in with a little more purple because I want to kind of make sure you can see the glow around it. So now that I've already did that part, I'm going to go in with a little more white so that the center is the lightest point. Now, for my last one, which is also a bit of a purple, but it's a bit lighter. This is the universe. This is our crown. So it's at the crown. It is the universe. I want to use the same purple that I had, but this time I'm adding more red to it. So I'm not adding any more blue into that purple mixture I made. I'm adding more red, and I'm also adding a little bit of white so that I can lighten it up. And once you have the shade created, you are going to, again, make sure you clean the previous purple off. And now I'm going to get this chakra filled in. And I'm still doing the same thing. I'm going outside of the white a bit to get that kind of glow around there. And then I'm going to pick up a little bit of white on my finger. and get the center filled in. And once you have all of those filled in, I'm going to add one more little detail to just give it something extra. So I am going to take one of my bigger or medium brushes, and I'm going to take the back end of the brush. And you want to use a bigger or medium end brush so that your dot that we're going to make is a bit bigger. And I'm going to dip right into my white, start at the top, and I'm just putting a dot right in the center. And as I put them in the center, I am making my dot a bit bigger. Kind of to match the technique that I did with the actual chakras, how they are, how the size staggers a bit. All right, and once you have all of those filled in, if there are any extra details that you would like to add, you definitely can add whatever you like. But before you are completely finished, you want to make sure that you grab your smallest brush, the color of your choice, and you're just going to sign your name or initials. I just did my initials in white right in the corner, but you can sign yours however you like. And once you are done, you now have your very own meditation painting. Thank you all so much for painting with me today. I'm so excited to be starting another year of fun painting tutorials with you all, and I had such a great time creating this meditation statue with you all. I hope you all have enjoyed it, and as always, make sure you subscribe and turn on those post notifications so that you don't miss the next tutorial. And if you have any suggestions, leave them down in the comments so that we can get your painting on the list of paintings that we will be doing this year. And I'll see you all in the next tutorial.